What's up, everyone? Welcome to DAW Diaries. I'm Haruna.
I'm Saïna.
And we're going to show you our new track called Summer Kind of Love, which is a UK jazz-infused funky track. Here is a preview.
There is no promise to tomorrow's sun. There's no promise, no. So I don't waste step outside. Summer kind of love. There is no promise to what we can touch in the sun. 'Cause I wanna summer kind of love. Come up for a summer kind of love. Come up for...
And there is the 30-second preview. Now we're going to get into the breakdown of how we started this beat.
So on New Year's, we had a track by Tuesday Born called Mockingbird. And Saïna was like, we should make a song like this. And it turned into this.
I had to Shazam it. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, we must make it. And it was the start of the year, so I felt like there's a reason for this song coming out at this time. So the way this track started was just laying down some chords. I used Lab's intimate grand piano, which is a nice soft sound, and then we also contrasted it with a Maverick piano, which is from Native Instruments, and this one in comparison is a little bit brighter sound and a bit harsher. I say harsher, I think just brighter. It also has some space, so it gives a bit of a fuller sound for the choruses and the hook as well. So the chords go on pretty much the whole time. The only section that I switched it up to give it a bit more pace and rhythm was the bridge section, where I changed the chord pattern and just gave it a different rhythm. But the rest of it was pretty much the same. We kind of wanted to keep it quite simple, and just a few extra elements over the top. Yeah, so that was the piano. The next part, the drums was kind of the leading factor of this song. And to give it that UK funky rhythm, we changed these quite a few times. It had its...
This is not even the final one.
This is not the final one. Actually, no, it is, because I changed it.
Oh.
Remember? Yeah. So this has had many different drafts, but this is the final drum pattern that we ended up with. I'm actually going to play the chorus. So a lot of snares, kind of reverb. I feel like you can give more of this description on words on drums.
Right, so we originally had a 4 to the floor for the drums. However, as we carry on listening to it, it kind of just lost momentum. It wasn't as bouncy as we wanted it to be, so we stuck with one that is quite similar to 3-step. It has the 3 kicks, and
yeah,
it kind of leaves like a ghost note where there's some space, and the snares kind of fill it up, because there's a lot of snares. If there's a lot of kicks, sometimes that can get a bit busy. There's a lot of snares going on here. There are the snare crack 2, which is the main snare that has the keeps momentum and drive, and then there's the reverb one, which adds some space, and then there's the ghost notes, which are kind of in the background, which I later pan to the left and right.
The reason why I wanted to do multiple snares was just because I wanted that live element, and I thought if we're going to commit to the live sound, it's just better to make the whole thing sound live. Like with everything that all the elements in the track, we just tried to make it sound as live as possible, especially even the fills, like making it all sound kind of level, but it still has an electronic element, I guess, in terms of the mix. But yes,
Yes.
that is the drums. They pretty much stay the same the whole way, except for when we get to, oh, there's some extra elements as well. There was a kind of dubby. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like this kind of
a lot of atmosphere things, and there's a ride here as well on every single one. We also do like add some more later on, and also some bongos that were added as well.
Bongos, shakers. So it sounds like a very live kit, and then a few fills, but that was on the project when we handed it over to Haruna's FL Studios.
Yes.
So for the vocals, as you can see, I love to layer my vocals, make them super wide, left, right, doubles, harmonies, all of that. So I could maybe play that a cappella. I seem to remember we sent it to
Kickstart.
Yeah, that was it. So we sent it to Kickstart to give a bit of a rhythm. Oh. So it's super subtle, but it just gives a little bit of a texture. And panned randomly. Oh, I don't even think they're the same. Okay, so they're meant to be the same. And then moving on to everything else, I mean, a lot of harmonies.
Looking for a kind of love that feels like summer. Even through a cold winter, my heart grows even fonder. I'm wanting a kind of love that smells like sweet rain. When a storm is coming, so can we make love like this? There is no promise to tomorrow's sun.
Yeah, so a lot of not just harmonies with the main vocals, but also oohs, ahs, just kind of giving it a thickness. And then the hook, just doubles, which I actually ended up doing a lot more later just to like really thicken it towards the end of the track. And then one part that I really wanted to be different was the bridge. So there's two sections to the bridge.
You might be the kind of love so you're good at kissing it there. Might be the kind of love, 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 love. Might be the kind of love, 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 love.
So breaking up down the bridge, we had two sections. We wanted it to be double. It was actually originally only the first was at 16 bars. But we wanted to have a sax. As you can hear, it is not very mixed, and this is not the final version. We cut it down further. So the first half was the usual, my main vocal, and the second half kind of ended up being like more of like a jazzy solo section where my vocals served as more of like a chant in the background along with the backing vocals, and then the sax taking the main spotlight there. So that was something that was like a particular note that I wanted Haruna to do on the mix. I'm going to show you the key change, my very proud moment. The key change, which is one tone up.
There is no promise to tomorrow's sun. There's no promise. So I don't waste step outside. Summer kind of love. I want a summer love. There is no promise to what we can touch in the sun. 'Cause I want a summer kind of love. Coming for a summer kind love. Coming for a summer kind
So that was the key change, and I cannot tell you theory on what that little, I don't even call it. It was a like mini key change within it. I don't know if I'm going to say that right. What that was, but yeah. And I switched up the little drum section here so that it followed it.
Step outside, summer kind of love.
Again, like it feels quite live. You can imagine it being played and performed with a band. So Dax obviously builds up, but we did cut that down because it was a lot of elements. And having some piano that not piano, so actually this is Logic's very own Alchemy. Crystal Sun. Just some textures. It felt fitting. Maybe I picked it because it was called Crystal Sun. With the piano, I added a couple extra little elements. Cute. So we have it. So that was the demo. Then we transferred everything over to FL Studios.
Woo-woo. Okay, so we are in FL Studio. This is the final arrangement of the track. So we do have some extra stuff in here, like the bongos, which were added, shakers, and another bongo hit. So all those were added, shakers, bongo hit. If we bring everything back, we went through everything together with the bass.
Bass was played by Jacob May.
Yeah. So we had, as you can see, there's a lot of like cutting up here and making sure it was still groovy, so we didn't quantize it all the way. Still, some things are still offbeat. With the mix, I would say I didn't do much with the bass. Just really some EQing. I did have some distortion on it before, but I just thought that it was too much and it was overpowering the whole track. And to keep it like live sounding, you don't want to do too much of that. Her vocals, maybe I should go through the vocal chain.
Now you've got my personalized vocal chain after mixing my single Dreamscape.
Yeah, 28 masters. We got there though. 28 masters. Learn a lot in those 28 masters.
I didn't actually have many notes on this. Like I didn't say anything really. The only thing was at one point I said we could try a bit more reverb, we could try a bit less.
Yeah.
But we didn't. 28 masters.
28 masters.
A kind of love that smells like sweet rain. When a storm is coming, ahozora, mi tiny makes me forget that the world is moving. Can we make love like this?
So the lead is what I focus on a lot. I have this Vox volume, which kind of it gives the voice some layers, and it turns it up the overall voice. You can also change the balance of it from left to right, but I don't like doing that because I do use stereo separator later on. The EQ, it's best not to EQ her voice too much.
Just the 5K.
Saïna has this part of her voice that just sticks out a lot within the 5K range, I found out. She does have a few peaks in her voice that I find that always like peak out, and sometimes when she sings louder, like it may just overpower the whole thing. I should really use automation at this point, but like I can also just, in songs like this where there isn't so many ad-libs, and I can just like cut it down. Here as well in the 500 range. That's what that EQ is for. I did have a different EQ before this, but I turned it off because it was making our voice very compressed, but it would have sounded like this to cut out this part. But I took it out. I've learned to take that out because she's always said my voice sounds compressed, and that is why. Also we have reverb, just a little bit of wet. The size is not too big. The layer as well is not too much as well, just 1/16. Then I have a limiter, which kind of again raises the whole gain of her whole voice and adds saturation and keeps the threshold down. The compressor is like a slow compressor, so as her voice gets quieter or louder, because she sings a lot in dynamic, it will just raise the threshold or take it down, which is really handy. The main part I want to speak about is the ad-lib. So this section here, I wanted to elevate like all her ad-libs, because yeah, she puts a lot of effort into her ad-libs, so I wanted to add a lot of reverb, make a lot of space. I was a little bit experimental. Let me go inside the mixer. Same type of stuff that I have with the main vocal, but I added animatic, which it just puts her vocal from the left and right throughout the whole track without automation. It's like a quicker way of doing it. Reverb, with the reverb, the room is extremely big and there's no low cut as well, so it's not taking out. This is a preference where I'm not taking out the low part of her voice. Separation a little bit to the left, just only 19%, so it sounds like it's coming out the left hand side. And the wet signals all the way up and dry signals a bit down with a lot of decay. 10 seconds of decay is actually a lot. Then I use a spreader, which is like a new FL Studio plugin I tried out. So what it does, this is why I used the low bypass to take out the lower part of her voice, because it was invading the bass. Separation all the way to the right. Kind of want to use this for it's good for use for strings. It kind of gives the same effect as like strings and woodwind stuff. And spreaded it 70%. So that's when it's not spread to the left. Yeah. So it's quite good. So that's what I did for those ad-libs. I did the same effect in this section here for the bridge. Yeah, the bridge. This part did take a lot of leveling, but she had done most of it on Logic. But yeah, it took a lot of going over this and trying to make sure deciding what parts are louder and what parts are just in the background.
Was always looking for.
Yeah, so parts like that, always wanted it to poke through a bit, so like it still keeps the song grounded and it's not all the way reverb. So if we go back into the track, saxophone, we did have some more cuts and changes to it.
Sax is by George Mooney.
Yes, did a great job. It was amazing. So we did have some more changes to it because it was just a lot and it was taken away from her voice. Very jazzy, loved it, but we cut it down to add some like just accents around it, and sometimes we get more busy. We did like this in the chorus to add like familiarity. We kept it in both choruses.
Come up for a summer kind, summer kind, summer kind love. Come up for a summer kind, summer kind, summer kind love.
Yeah, that is the one part. That's really good. And also, if we go to the final chorus where there's the key change, the drums do have a shaker now, which you didn't hear in the first version. You just add some more body to it.
Promise to tomorrow's sun, so I don't waste it outside. Summer kind of love. There is no promise.
And then when we get to the final part, I saw that the drums should cut out for the outro, so we can focus again on Saïna's voice. So this is what the outro sounds like.
You go to you go. Summer kind of love, love, love. You go to if you got that love, 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 love. Summer kind of love, 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 love. Summer kind of love, 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 love. Have you got that love?
Kind of sounds like Jungle, like the band Jungle. Gives me
Yeah.
that vibe.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That outro.
I hear that. All the drums, if I go to the drums, I just made them a lot brighter compared to what it was. Made the kick stand out more.
Right.
Yeah, made the kick stand out more. Another thing I added was a multi-band compressor, which like keeps the drums brighter, and also like it like when there's stuff like you want a snare to stand out and be really loud, it makes sure it's not clipping. And after that, when I use the master, the pre-master, I just use Maximus and kind of put some compressing on the mid, the low, because there was a lot of low in the track, and then a bit of the high. You keep it high so you can keep hearing like her voice. Then through the pre-master, after the pre-master, you put it into the main master and you push it all the way up to 9 decibels, and that's how you master a track.
And that was Summer Kind of Love. It's out now on all streaming platforms, so make sure you go stream it, share with your friends, and I hope you learned a little bit about our breakdown.
Bruh. And if you hear this song, you know, if you're a producer or a DJ and you want to flip it to garage, jungle, just putting it out there, you know, I'll send you the stems, you know.
Oh, will you?
Yeah. And for me, it's like I've always wanted to work with Saïna, so this is like, it's quite big for me. So let's make the track bigger, you know. Let's remix it.
It was a pleasure, Haruna.
Anytime, mate.
Yes,
anytime.
yes, good mate.